Hi everyone, welcome once again, like every Friday, for our Dev and HODLERS meeting. Let's wait a couple more minutes for everybody to join us. So yeah, let's please confirm if you can hear us and see everything is fine with our audio and everything. Okay, so we can start with. So okay, today. When we are waiting for everybody, today Christian is with us, our front-end developer.
Hello.
He will be responsible today for showing the first milestone which we achieved for encryption and decryption information in our application to increase your security. Like always, Oswald will be responsible for reading your questions and take care of you, because it's sometimes for me hard to, presenting and looking on the chat in the same time. So, like always, Maciej will be the let's say the uh, helpful for you, and he will support you on the chat, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I will be the backend of this meeting.
yeah. So I see that people are joining. So hi everyone once again. I don't see. So could you guys please confirm on the chats? Send any message that there is everything okay with our audio and our stream. Okay, so I think everything is fine. That I will.
Yes, I can confirm that everything is fine.
Yeah.
We are heard loud and clear, and we can proceed with the meeting and with the most interesting part, the mathematics.
Okay, guys. So, like maybe there was quite rough and crazy time for us. We finished the international pre-sale with big achievement, right? It was a lot of Ethereums and USDC and USDT throwing to us, right? So we are happy that you join us once again. You trust us, and yeah, we just start working harder and harder after that. So yeah, right now we are waiting for pre-sale, but of course this meeting is not about the sales, about the marketing. I just want to make sure that you are aware that in the 15th of June, right, the sales will start. So keep in mind that will be limited numbers of the coins to buy. So yeah, this is all I can say. So this is let's say the quick summary of sales phase and everything that we prepared for you, right? And okay, so I think we can go straight to the Christian, because it will be quite hard and it will be quite complicated. So I think that we will start with that hard part, and then we can go to the fun part, to the show what's changed in the and easier part, that it will be related to the changes that we added today to the production and to our application. And I want to present you few interesting profiles in our application that you should follow. And yeah, Christian, floor is here.
Okay, thank you, Bartek. Let me share my screen, and I'll try to demo something. Please let me know when you'll be able to see my browser. It should be Firefox Nightly.
Yes, Christian, everything is okay.
Right. Right now, you should be able to see login page to BigShortBets, however, with different address. Well, what I would like to present right now is work in progress feature of encryption, specifically for the purpose of communicating via chat. To implement that feature, we as developers had to slightly change the way the registration process on the platform will occur. So let me show you first what changes you would like to introduce, and then I will explain why this is actually needed. So starting point here is first login for the user. As you might remember, on every login, we as users are signing a one-time password that lets us into the system. However, this time this process has been extended. So you might see here, it does not look like the one-time password that we're sending so far. This is actually application public key that we are signing using public key, that we are signing using a private key from our MetaMask wallet. Now, why is that actually needed? So in the next step, we are also asked to present our public key that belongs to our MetaMask. Now I'm juggling between two terms, public key and private key. Some of you might be already familiar with the concept of symmetric and asymmetric cryptography. This is what the whole blockchain is based on, and also something that we like to base encryption in application as well. However, since the process of obtaining public key from MetaMask requires us to ask the user to provide this key every time, then asking for the key whenever we would like to encrypt something, send a message to the user, or create a private bait would be a little bit cumbersome. That's why we would like to ask for a public key only once during the first login. And once this public key is provided, what we as developers would like to do is create what is called application key that will reside in the system itself, so that the user does not have to retrieve public key from MetaMask at all times. This all happens behind the scenes. That's why for now you only see those monets, those dialogues being displayed. Later I will show you what is the functional change in the system after we'll go through the whole process. So the last step was, as you could see, signing the one-time password. And now there's something new. So in the first step, the front-end application generated your unique pair of keys that is very similar to ones that are being stored in MetaMask, except they belong only for the purpose of encrypting content inside the application. What this does is it makes your MetaMask wallet more secure in a way that is not being used on every action. That's why it's a little bit safer. Only one action is being requested from MetaMask. However, now, whenever we would like to create some encrypted content, we need to also encrypt the application private key, so that we also have ability to decrypt information that we receive. For now, this monet, this dialog always appears whenever we like to enter a chat, but in the end, we like to make it a little bit less invasive and only appear when we would like to decrypt some actual message. So as I mentioned, features that we are currently developing are still a little bit of work in progress. That's why those tiny elements are not working the way we would like to in the end. However, the core concept, which was the most difficult part, is already there. So right now, I'm in the chat window, and I would like to chat with anonymous user of that address. Now, if you would go back to the current version of application, some people that actually inspect security of our application probably know the tool that is called developer tools. Sorry that I have it displayed in Polish, but that's my default system language. Let me just show you one tab that is pretty useful for inspecting security vulnerabilities, which is called network. I'll just reset it once to populate it, because I forgot to turn it on at the beginning. As you can see, whenever we are refreshing application, we are decrypting our private application key. Now, this tool, I know that some people that look closely at our actions used to inspect security of application, and I appreciate very much that. I saw a few baits where somebody tried to do, for example, a SQL injection. This particular aspect we are prepared of, fortunately, but it's good that you try to look at our hands and check if everything is done properly. Now, one thing that can be also inspected in the application is what traffic is being sent and received between your browser and our server. Particularly interesting one is traffic that happens with chat. It is being conveyed on a protocol that's called WebSocket. And if you would enter our current version application, the chat is not encrypted. What I mean by that, technically, all the traffic in the application right now is encrypted using Tor. So between your browser and our server, every request and every message is encrypted up to, as far as I know, 6 times by all the Tor nodes that are in between. However, the server, so we as developers, technically we have access to all the content that is there. The purpose of the change that we are introducing right now is to guarantee to you users that no content that you send between one another is unsecure, is accessible by developers. In the current version application, if you would look into the traffic, the messages that are being sent via chat, you will see that they are being sent in plain text, which means that developers that have malicious intentions could access it. However, since the change that we are introducing, this is going to be a little bit different. I will send some test message. As you can see, in this section here, the content of the message is no longer text content, the plain text content I'm sending, but instead it looks like some hash. Now, where I can jump to is explaining what exactly does this hash mean and how are we encrypting these messages. What we've decided to try, at least in the proof of concept version, is elliptic curve encryption, specifically a scheme that is called ECIES, which stands for, as far as I remember, Elliptic Curves Integrated Encryption Scheme. The idea is that for each and every user in our application, we can have private and public key to encrypt a message, private one to decrypt it. Knowing the recipient, so someone to whom you would like to send a message, you can use his public key, and by having this public key, encrypt the message that way. However, we immediately jumped into one optimization which ECIES provides, which means using public key of the recipient, we are actually creating a symmetric key that is being used to encrypt the message itself, since symmetric encryption is much faster than asymmetric encryption. In addition to that, what we are sending is MAC. MAC is a signature that is a proof that whoever sent the message is our interlocutor, is the person that we are intending to communicate with. The reason for using ECIES is that it has significant advantage compared to classic encryption using Diffie-Hellman keys. If every message that we send on the chat was encrypted using the same public key, the server that has access to all these messages would have the bunch of data that could be used to actually brute force through those messages to find out what the key was. That kind of attack, I believe, was actually performed on Edward Snowden. That's how his secret communication was actually overtaken. So what we introduced in our proof of concept version, at least, is that a symmetric key that is being used to encrypt messages that are being sent between users is derived not at the beginning of conversation, not only once, but it is being recreated for every message that is being sent through the protocol. Now, this introduces a little bit more complication. For example, retrieving chat history is what we are working on right now. However, what we found out is we took a closer look at what other supposedly secure messengers or communicators use. And we found out that, for example, Signal protocol is using method that's called double ratchet. And this double ratchet mechanism, there's no actual need to resend symmetric key on every message. But what is being used instead is, let me look for this particular scheme that is most explanatory. Oh, here it is. Might look a little bit complicated, but what happens in double ratchet communication is, instead of having this key being renegotiated on every message, they are being created using so-called ratchets, one for sending, one for receiving. And this way, even if one particular message is being perceived by some attacker, it does not compromise the whole conversation. Whether we stay with ECIS or we move to double ratchet is still under consideration. These are the two options that we are considering right now. However, for both one and the other, Diffie-Hellman key generation is at the beginning, which means that the process that we already implemented, those three dialogues that appear during the login, will be sufficient enough so that even if we decide later to improve the level of security for the chat, that will be transparent for the users and you won't notice any difference. Sorry if what I was saying was a little bit chaotic. I hope that I conveyed the idea itself to a sufficient manner. If there's any concerns about security application, I invite you to actually try to communicate with us developers using Telegram channel, and that way we would like to explain a little bit more about those concepts. And we are also open for your feedback or your experience with encryption protocol, which we think is useful.
There is one question on the chat, but
yes.
not necessarily regarding the security matters that you mentioned, but about maybe something else connected with that. Was there any other attacks on our platform besides the one that you mentioned? Because you mentioned someone tried to ingest it via baits, but if there have been any other attacks, can you?
Yeah, sure, I can explain that because I'm quite more familiar with that topic. Christian, could you just stop the presenting this? Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, there was some of the attacks prepared for our application. First of all, like Christian just mentioned, there was some tries to, let's say, execute the code that you sent in, for example, in a request. It means that, for example, you create debate or comment with specific, let's say, prepared the message that will, for example, can be put it to the server and it will be executed, for example, by dropping the database or sending something like that. So somebody just tried it. But I know maybe you're not seeing that, but there is a group of the ethic hackers that they contacted to us, and they are close contact and they work with me, and they all day long try to breach our application, and so far everything is secured. So I'm quite happy that we prepared in so short time, because it's only 2 months. We prepared something that is quite hard to breach right now. So still there is a lot of places that we can improve our security. So this is why we are working on this encryption. We try to decentralize our infrastructure. So in the future, right now the sandbox is standing, it's hosting from one place, but the main application, when token will be ready and the blockchain will be, the private blockchain will be running, and the application will be decentralized between different companies, different places. There will be as well the, let's say, physic server, hide it in one place. So yeah, we are ready to prepare ourselves to more and more complicated attacks on our application.
All right. Thanks for the
But I
answer.
have one question, Christian, because I think that we are
Sure.
more familiar with these topics, to symmetric and asymmetric with the keys that we are using right now, right? But maybe there will be some concerns from users that are not familiar with our expertise, and maybe there could be a question, for example, if I am using my MetaMask, right, and a key, there is anything that I, for example, risking with my tokens or access to my private key, there is anything that we are using that could increase the vulnerabilities for your wallet?
Oh, this is a very big topic. So one thing that I can assure everyone is if you look closely at dialogues I was presenting, at no stage your private key is being exposed. Private key is being used internally in MetaMask to encrypt messages, particularly encrypt application private key only. There are some theories that exposing public key might be dangerous as well, and that's why you're only exposing it once. Plus, in this aspect, unfortunately, there's one particular, I wouldn't call it vulnerability, but there's a term that's called tofu, and it's not about Asian food. It's an acronym of trust on first use. This is a problem of most of those encryption schemes, including Signal, Messenger, WhatsApp protocols. And this is that on the first contact with your interlocutor, or in this case, our server, you have to trust that who are you connecting with is who you think you would like to connect to. So that's one thing. And other thing is, okay, you can see that this moment that our application asks you to provide public key. What if you don't trust our application? So actually, at least the front-end code and communication to the backend server is something that can be inspected. Maybe not by everyone, but someone sufficiently with sufficient knowledge when it comes to security and front-end code could do that. And that's how everyone can know how this public key is actually being used, and the use is absolutely minimal.
Okay, so like you can see, everybody, we are aware about all the problems that we are facing, and we try to solve them step by step, right? I'm quite happy, Christian, that you just say that aloud, that we are only using what is the public in your wallet, right? We don't want to expose anything that can be dangerous for you, right? So this is why we reduce the number of the requests that we are sending to the MetaMask, to reduce the problems that we can cause by that, right? And as well, we try to push as much as possible, as much security as possible to our application to make sure that everything is going from our side. We are ensuring that it's your content and your information is secured, and of course, yeah, and this is why we just presented that. As well as like Christian mentioned, we are looking for your feedback. So if you want to ask anything right now on the chat, or you want to contact us, we are available on our Telegram groups, and as well there is special email that goes straight to the team. It's support at BigShortBets.com. And yeah, and you always can just reach out, and we will answer your questions and try to figure out how we can improve our application for you, right? So any other questions about the encryption that we present?
Actually, they get quite busy on the chat, so it's not one question but a couple of them. So let's begin the first one. Tomek is asking, how will your servers work? Is there a chance that all databases will disappear or get broken?
Yeah, so right now the sandbox is like in only one stage, so it means that if there is something happened with our database, of course it will be the interruption isn't working, but the final infrastructure will be decentralized. We want to use our private blockchain to, for example, send to everybody who want to help us to decentralize the copy of our database, encrypted copy, and as well the system will be split to the different host places, right? The different servers, and it allows us to increase that if somebody will, for example, turn off one of our servers, it won't affect our application. So yeah, we are working on that, and currently I can say that yeah, there is vulnerability like that for us, but in the final version of our application we will solve that problem. I'm not sure about it. Okay, Maciej, any other questions?
Yes, all right. We got a follow-up for that. And who is paying for service maintenance? I could say that it's an easy question. We are paying for the server maintenance because it's our project. But if I'm wrong, Bartek, you can.
Yeah, we are paying for the server. Our founder and the person who just invented our idea and helped us to create that application is Rafał Zorski, and Rafał is the founder of all this infrastructure right now. In the future, we probably present how we want to maintain the cost of our application, but for now, we are seeing that it won't be a big cost. Let's say if you help us with decentralizing the application, and I think that the providing the liquidity, for example, on the market will help allows us to, for example, keep running our project from that. But we will see. I can say more about it because it's not the area of my expertise in the project, right? It will be better I can prepare myself for next live and maybe invite the person who knows the answer for that question.
All right, thank you. And we have another question from Natalia. It's regarding the application for phones for Android and iOS, and when do we plan to start the application for phones, and how about the security on phone?
Like you can imagine, what Christian just presented is the logic that we need to execute from front-end side. It means that all the clients who is running our application, it means the website or the application on the mobile, needs to have the same logic. So it will be secured in the same way. It will be communicating in the same wallet in the same way, using the same functions, and it will be using the same, and we are calling that endpoints. It's like the doors that you are knocking to your application to receive or send any information to the server, right? So it will be working the same way, but it will be only just in a different device, right? So the iOS is problematic, and I can say more about it. It's quite risk that we don't want to waste resources on something that it could be easily just removed from the store, right? Because there is no option to give you the application in another way that it is on the App Store, right? So it's quite hard, first of all, to get there, and second thing, it will be stay there, right? Because if something, it will be quite loud about us, and I'm afraid that Apple won't be, let's say, friendly for us if something like that will happen. For example, imagine that, some information will leak from Apple. I think that Apple wants to help us to stay on the App Store, right? And this is, but Android, what I can say, Android we are developed the Android application, and we are working on that. We start with little delay on that compared to our web application, because web application is our main application. Is the best way to secure you by Tornet, but the Android application will be using as well the Tornet with all the encryption. So yeah, but we need a little bit more time for that to prepare for you. So yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious that the App Store and the Android Store are market makers for the apps infrastructure on our phone, and everything have to go through that. That's why we have to follow the rules and make sure that we won't get down on the first day on the app release because of some matters that are associated with the things that we're gonna do. So yeah.
Thank you that you mentioned that, because I just forgot. Yeah, the main difference between App Store and the iOS application and the Android application is that the iOS can be only delivered by the App Store, right? But the Android, we can just prepare the special file that allows you to install the application in your phone and can be distributed by, for example, GitHub or any other ways that you can just download the file, right? So we don't need the Google Play Store to give you the access to the application on Android, right? So this is the main difference why we are focusing on Android, right? Okay.
I mean, there is another question from Tomek. Could you show how to deposit money from MetaMask wallet in the fashion that no one could track them? I mean, I'm not sure if this is the matter that we cover today, but we're gonna prepare for that, and we're gonna show you an example of how to deposit the wallet so that no one can track them. Or maybe you have something to say about it, Bartek.
Yeah, I think that I can just say a little bit more about it. There is option that, for example, you can just buy the tokens and receive that for another address, but this is the only one sentence. It's better to show that. It prepare my wallet right now for that on a testnet will takes quite long, and I don't have any, let's say, on the mainnet any Ethereum or USDT that I can burn for you for presentation right now. So let's Tomek, I noted that comment, and let me just prepare myself for next meeting, and I will start with that for you. So yeah, sorry about that, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna write it down and prepare for the next meeting. So yeah, and so there is another question from Natalia. That there are questions from people about the secure chats on Telegram app, and it's a matter of writing. How do you rate the Telegram? Are we there safe, and everyone can join and read more than that we want to read them? So how do you rate it? Is the Telegram chat safe? Can we communicate on that, or do you have any?
Like always, if somebody is on a members list in our Telegram chat, they can read everything what you say there, right? If you have secured channel with one person, you are sure that it's only one person, you only can read that. I'm not specialist from how Telegram is working. We know the basics and the concept of that, but for sure the main channel where everybody just typing right now, right? Where we have something like in the Polish channel, we have something like around 2,000, right, Maciej? And on a English channel, we have a little bit less, but still, I think it's better to just, let's say, if somebody can't connect your account with your mobile phone, there is way to reduce your anonymity, right? So it's hard to be anonymous there. There is still your phone number that can be connected with persons. So be careful about it, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to remember that our Telegram chat, both English and Polish, serve the purpose of the communication with the community and creating it. But the main things, the out of the red line things that gonna happen on our app, the one that we are developing currently, that is secured and safe. Just to make sure that that you are protected. Right now we just sending memes and asking stuff on our Telegram chat, so it isn't prohibited as far as I know, so we can do it safely. And
yeah, so this is why we don't want to give a word for Telegram. For sure, Telegram's only for sharing your ideas, try to contact us to understand the basic things, right? But the application which we created on the Tor, it's more secure in my opinion, because you're only using you can use without any connection with any market or any exchange, the clean Ethereum wallet, and just add there anything what you want, and it will be behind the Tor, and in the near future it will be as well encrypted, right? So yeah, but still the application is only for sharing, the good the information that everybody have access, right? So let's keep it in mind, right?
Yeah, so far it serves its purpose, so yeah, it's good. So
okay, so I think we finish all the questions, right? So let just me back to our application, and there is not only the changes that Christian just mentioned. Just quickly, yeah, I was sure that I just lose my okay, so like, there is a lot of new things going on, and we still are developing that. We increasing our security, but it's hard to show because there's nothing changed on the, on the graphic side of our application. But I want to just encourage you to using the hashtags in a way that we just think that it will be great, because right now we have two groups of people. They are speaking in the Polish and English mainly, right? So it will be great if you just help us, everybody, to use the English as a hashtag, for example, and why I'm just presenting that, because I will lose my reputation once again, but okay, never mind. Thanks that it will be good to just use that, and in that way it's easy to find everything in a particular language, right? So help each other to right now. We are working on something that will be increased usability in that area, but right now it will be nice to help people with English to help them find faster and easier the content that they are looking for, right? Because we need to remember that we are not only the Polish guys in the application. We need to take care of our English community as well. So please keep in mind that help them to find the content in English by using the hashtags, right? There was a lot of changes with the chats. We helped you to just display something like, there is no options to send. Where is this? I need to find the chat that it's. Let's say like that. I have a problem. Yeah, so there is no option right now to send more. I mean that sends the to the account that doesn't exist. So we create that it's more feasible right now for you, to more readable, that you can just see that it's not only the address. There is right now we are displaying as well the display name, right? The reputation can be found here. So we are improving that chats, and as well there was. Let me just quickly look on my list of the changes. So we fixed the break long messages in the chat. We displayed property on message in Chrome. Yeah, so we just changed that it's displaying in a different size of the window. It's displaying in a better way, right? Let me just back to the messages, right? As well, we removed from based on your request, we removed quickly the option that. Maybe you remember there was a problem with avatars, that first request always, the first adding avatars always caused some problems, because it was cutting by the canvas. It was canvas object. It means that it's blocked by Tor. So right now we remove that. You can no longer just move that or zoom. But if first it will more, I think it will be easier to add avatar for people who are less, let's say, experienced with the technique stuff and the technical stuff and the IT stuff that is connected with, for example, allowing to access something like that and so on. And as well, I just decided that I want to share you with two accounts that I'm quite surprised and I'm quite happy that they are here. First of all, it's X0X China News. It's a great account, that person who shares information from China. Of course, you can check them, but this is something that it's hard to find in the main media, right? So I'm encourage you to follow him, to bait up his baits and show that we are happy that we have person like that on the application. So there's a lot of good news. I mean, that interesting information that it's not so easy to get from China. So I encourage you to follow this guy, and I'm quite happy that we have people like that on application. And this is of course for English guys, for people who just speaking in English, but for people from Poland, there is the person who just try to help and understand the forex market, and there is a lot of good and interesting things going on. So I'm encouraging you as well for following him as well, and reward him for hard work and trying to animate our market with information, everything, right? So like you can see, the application is going. Right now we have something around 900 accounts created. So thank you very much, guys, for your trust. And and I think I see that there is a lot of last week we have some DDoS, let's say, attacks. Somebody tried to create over 20,000 comments, but we fixed that. And I think that it's going in the right direction. So I'm happy that you're using that. The team is following all your baits, and we try to respond to everybody and try to comment to be in contact with you. So I'm looking forward for more ideas and comments. Sometimes you see that you adding baits with the ideas. It's a great way to communicate that, but keep in mind that there is an option to report the bug. It's not only the bug. We can just send me any information about the suggestions. Please remember to attach the screenshot to which part of the system you are talking about. It's required because it's, sometimes you're writing about something, but it's hard for me to let's say imagine or understand what is going on, right? So I'm looking for it because the mockups or maybe the screenshots, they are more valuable than thousands of words, right? So
Exactly. It is like it is the best thing to see that the people, our community, trying to break the app that we are developing. They are putting their effort, their time. So that is the purpose of the sandbox version, to give it to you so you can have fun while doing dumb shit on it. And it's also means that you can just try to break it. We had a guy that tried to put 10,000 comments somehow. It was the best thing that he put this on our Telegram channel. So you look, I'm making 10,000 comments. What are you gonna do about it? And so this is the field that we are playing on, and we are trying to having fun, and you should have fun too. It is a great feeling for me.
But please keep in mind that we are humans as well. So if you are doing something like that, please remember that. For example, if first o'clock in the night, it's hour that I would try to sleep, not fixing something in application. But if there is needed, I will stand up and I will fix that like it was in this week. Okay, guys. So
don't go easy on you,
okay, so guys, any other questions or comments about the topics and things that we are presenting today? The groups are coming. The groups are okay. So I can just say that you can see that the first milestone that we are preparing the keys, right, in applications we are using for encryption. First step will be encrypting your chats, but as well, remember that the groups will be encrypted as well. We don't want to know what is going on in your groups. That will be the small piece of land in our server that it will be only for you, and nobody will outside your group will be able to read anything there, right? So I'm sure that the GameStop action, for example, will be more successful if somebody will have to like that in that day, right? So I don't see any comments, and I think it was quite intense meeting, right? So I think we can finish here. Thank you very much, Oswald, for your help, and like always, the best host in our stream, right? Christian for great knowledge and presentation. It was so. I also was so happy that we achieved a milestone like that, and I always, guys, looking forward for your suggestion on Telegram groups. Keep in mind that there is support email. It's support@BigShortBets.com. You always can reach out, or by using the button that we are presenting. There is available in application, right? As well, if you are tester or you are React developer, there is special email called coreteam@BigShortBets.com. Send us because we still increasing our resources and increasing our team. So if you want to join us and you liked what we try to achieve and you want to be part of it, let's contact, and we try to figure out how we can help each other, right?
Yes, remember to follow us also on socials, on the Twitter account. It's @BigShortBets. on our YouTube channel, so you can have up to date with things that we do. We have BigShortBet talks and also DEVS and HODLERS meetings. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can find there, even for educational purpose. And also remember to give it thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't forget about it this fast. And the last thing I want to mention, like, join our Telegram groups and post some memes, have some fun, show us that you are there. We love our community, so come and join and have fun.
I think I can imagine the best ending like you said. So thank you very much again, guys. Have a great
Thank you, guys.
weekend.
See you next time.
Soon.
See you next time.